Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been making waves across Europe and beyond, the rise of populism. What's driving this movement, and what are its implications for the future? Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's unravel this political phenomenon together. Understanding populism. First, let's break down what populism actually is. Imagine politics as a high school cafeteria. You have the popular kids, the jocks, the nerds, and everyone else. Populism is like that kid who stands up and says, "Hey, the popular kids have had their way for too long. It's time for the rest of us to take charge." Populist leaders often position themselves as the voice of the ordinary people against the so-called corrupt elite. It's all about us versus them. But populism isn't just a 21st century buzzword. It's been around for ages, popping up whenever and wherever people feel ignored by those in power. So why has it seen such a resurgence in Europe recently? Let's dig into the causes. To understand the rise of populism in Europe, we need to take a quick trip back in time. After World War II, Europe was in shambles. Countries came together to rebuild and create what we now know as the European Union. For decades, this union brought peace, prosperity, and a sense of unity. Then came the 2008 financial crisis, and everything changed. The economic downturn hit Europe hard. Unemployment soared, especially among young people, and governments implemented austerity measures that left many citizens feeling the pinch. Trust in traditional political parties and institutions began to wane. Economic factors. Now let's talk about money because, let's face it, money makes the world go round. The 2008 financial crisis was like a bad breakup, sudden, painful, and with lasting consequences. High unemployment rates, especially among the youth, made people question the status quo. Stagnant wages and economic inequality added fuel to the fire. People started looking for alternatives to the mainstream political parties that seemed unable to fix their problems. Populist leaders swooped in, promising economic relief, protectionism, and a return to national sovereignty. Think of it like a politician saying, "Hey, we've tried this globalized, neoliberal thing and it's not working. Let's put our country first for a change." This message resonated deeply with those who felt left behind by globalization. But it's not just the money. Social and cultural factors have played a significant role in the rise of populism. Take the 2015 migration crisis, for instance. Europe saw a significant influx of refugees and migrants, leading to concerns about national identity, security, and cultural cohesion. Populist parties capitalized on these fears, advocating for stricter immigration controls and policies that prioritize national interests over multiculturalism. It's the classic, "they're coming to take our jobs" argument, which, while often oversimplified, struck a chord with many voters. Let's not forget the political factors. Traditional political parties have been, well, less than impressive in addressing the concerns of their electorate. Many citizens felt that their leaders were out of touch, living in a bubble far removed from the realities of everyday life. This disconnection created a void that populist movements were all too eager to fill. Populist leaders often have a knack for charismatic and straightforward communication. They talk like regular people, not like politicians. They promise to cut bureaucratic red tape and get things done. This anti-establishment rhetoric is incredibly appealing to those disillusioned with the current political system. The role of media. The media, love it or hate it, you can't deny its power. The rise of social media and the 24-hour news cycle has given populist leaders unprecedented direct access to voters. They no longer have to rely on traditional media outlets to get their message across. A tweet here, a Facebook post there, and boom, their message is out there, unfiltered and immediate. Sensationalist and polarized media coverage has also played a role in amplifying populist narratives. The media loves a good story, and populist leaders often provide plenty of drama. This coverage not only boosts their visibility, but also deepens societal divisions, making it easier for populist movements to thrive. So, what are the effects of this populist surge on European politics? One of the most noticeable impacts has been the fragmentation of the political landscape. Traditional parties have seen their support erode, leading to more coalition governments and political instability. In some countries, populist parties have even gained power, influencing national policies and the direction of European integration. Take Italy, for example. The Five Star Movement and Lega Nord capitalized on economic discontent and anti-immigrant sentiment, achieving significant electoral success. Or look at Hungary, where Prime Minister Viktor Orban's Fidesz party has implemented a series of controversial measures, from restricting press freedom to reshaping the judiciary, all under the banner of defending national sovereignty. And who could forget Brexit? The UK's decision to leave the European Union was a clear manifestation of populist influence, with the Leave campaign tapping into concerns about immigration and the perceived loss of national control to the EU. Let's delve a little deeper into these case studies. In Italy, the Five Star Movement, founded by comedian Beppe Grillo, started as an anti-establishment protest movement. It tapped into widespread frustration with corruption and economic stagnation. The movement's success paved the way for other populist parties like Lega Nord to gain traction. Hungary's Viktor Orban, by contrast, has been a master of nationalist rhetoric. His government has pushed through laws that limit the independence of the judiciary and the press, all in the name of protecting Hungary's national identity and sovereignty. Critics argue that these measures undermine democratic norms, but they have proven popular among Orban's supporters. In the UK, the Brexit referendum was a defining moment. The Leave campaign's slogans, like "Take Back Control," resonated with voters who felt that the EU was infringing on British sovereignty. The outcome of the referendum sent shockwaves through Europe and marked a significant victory for populist forces. The future of populism in Europe. So, what does the future hold for populism in Europe? While it's challenging to predict, certain trends are worth watching. The ongoing economic challenges, coupled with societal changes and political disillusionment, suggest that populism will continue to be a significant force in European politics. However, its trajectory will depend on how traditional parties respond and whether they can regain voters' trust. Populism thrives on dissatisfaction and fear. If mainstream political parties can address the underlying issues driving populist support, economic inequality, cultural fears, political disillusionment, they might be able to stem the tide. However, if they fail to do so, we could see populist movements becoming even more influential. In conclusion, the rise of populism in Europe is a complex phenomenon driven by a myriad of factors. Economic hardship, social and cultural changes, political disillusionment, and the role of media have all contributed to the resurgence of populist movements. Understanding these causes and their effects is crucial for anyone interested in the future of European politics. Populism is here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. It's reshaping political landscapes, challenging traditional norms, and forcing us to rethink the way we approach governance. Whether you see it as a positive force for change or a threat to democratic values, one thing is clear: populism is a powerful and transformative force in Europe today. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into the rise of populism in Europe. If you found this video informative and engaging, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful analyses of global political trends. Tell us your thoughts on populism in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and engaged.